and burn.
Hey everybody. So tonight I am wondering which version of TSOL does everybody love more? And the reason that I'm asking this question is mainly because whereas overall I think most people will side with punk rock TSOL by way of like, you know, Beneath the Shadows or Dance With Me or Divided We Stand. But then on the flip side of that coin, once Jack and I think Ron had exited the van with Greg too, their keyboardist, Ron would take over and get the rights to the band, and he would turn the band into more of like a Guns N' Roses-esque sort of rock band who released a handful of really strong records. They released Change Today, which could be argued to still sort of, I mean, the argument, sorry, could be made that it's still sort of borrowing from like the Jack Grissom TSOL days, which were like, you know, barely the year before. With American Zone is on there, and Flowers by the Door. Now, Flowers by the Door was a lot more indicative of the sound that would take the band in through, Strange Love and like Hit and Run and Revenge, which again would sound a lot closer to bands like Guns N' Roses or The Cult than it ever did to the Dance With Me days of TSOL. Now, personally, overall, I'm going to side with the punk rock TSOL because Divided We Stand is like one of my favorite records of all time. Dance With Me is another favorite, long-standing favorite record of mine. Their two EPs, Weathered Statues, and their first EP, their first release, TSOL, were both amazing. World War III's on there, Abolish Government's on there. I think Superficial Love is on there somewhere between the two of those. Dance With Me, of course, is Code Blue on it. Dance With Me has 80 times, Sounds of Laughter. And Divided We Stand, I mean, Jesus, Smiles on there, Americans on there. Americans on there. And suddenly I'm drawing a blank. Electric's on there, Shine's on there. So I'm personally siding with the TSOL, the punk rock TSOL. But then the Ron Wood-led TSOL, like, for example, Hit and Run had 16 on it. And that was the thing that prompted me to do this video, is that I've had the song, I'm 16, I'm headed for the gallows. I've had that stuck in my head all day. So I figured maybe a way to sort of get rid of that out of my head was to do a video about the two different sides of TSOL, or the two different bands. I mean, TSOL ended up gaining the attention of Guns N' Roses. Steven Adler, Guns N' Roses' drummer at the time, he's seen wearing a TSOL shirt in the video for Sweet Child O' Mine. And that is as the result of the Ron Wood years. And those records, like Strange Love, that's a solid record. Hit and Run and Revenge are both really strong albums. But for me, and I imagine the majority of the people who will end up seeing this video, we all probably will signal out and say that, yeah, we'll take Divided We Stand or Weathered Statues any day. But then again, like Strange Love had this title track. Strange Love was amazing. In the Wind was on there too. In the Wind was absolutely amazing too. So it's nice because usually videos like this, I already sort of have a leaning, and I know technically I've already cemented myself with saying I'm going with the punk rock TSOL. But I also really like the more like Guns N' Roses' infused TSOL too. So yeah, so what do you guys think? Who do you think is the better TSOL? The Jack and Ron TSOL or the Ron Wood-led TSOL, where they went more like I said, Guns N' Roses or The Cult? Don't forget to let me know in the comments, but most importantly, never forget that you kick ass, and that's the main reason why I'm doing this, because it's so much fun interacting with everybody. Yeah, so have a great night.